Hello students. In the last class, I explained about what is mitosis and what is the process of mitosis. That means karyokinesis and cytokinesis. Karyokinesis means nuclear division. Cytokinesis means cytoplasm division, which is different for both plant cells and animal cells. And we also discussed about the plant mitosis and animal mitosis differences, plant cytokinesis and also animal cytokinesis difference. So these all the topics we covered in the previous lecture, and today's lecture we are going to discuss about mitogens. Mitogens means these are the small group of proteins which makes the cell to participate in the cell division. I'll tell you a very simple example. When we are cutting some vegetables, just imagine you got a small cut in your finger. Then the cells which are present in the margin of that injury, they gets activated, and these activated cells, they participate in the cell division, which results in the healing of that particular injury. That means the cell need to participate in the cell division whenever it is needed. For that, they need some proteins to activate that cell, that group of proteins which are activating the cell, so that the cells can be able to participate in the cell division, and that group of proteins only, they are called as mitogens. Hope you understood. Now we are going to discuss about what are various types of mitogens. Again, these mitogens are different from plant cell to the animal cells. In plant cells, the mitogen is nothing but cytokinin. It is a plant growth hormone, which I am going to describe, which I will definitely explain in plant growth and development topic. For now, you just remember this name and this complete details of this plant growth hormone I will discuss in plant growth and development chapter. It is a chapter of plant physiology. It is the last chapter, okay, of plant physiology. There I'll definitely discuss. Whereas in animal cells, this mitogens are lymphokines and EGF, means epidermal growth factors, and PDGF, that means platelet derived growth factors. So these are various mitogens of animal cells, whereas cytokinin is a mitogen of plant cells. Hope you understood what is the meaning of mitogen and what are different types of mitogens. Now let us take one more topic: reasons for cell division. Why the cell division it is taking place? To explain this, there is one theory called as Kern-Plasm theory, proposed by Hertwig. Hertwig says mitosis occurs due to disturbance in karyoplasmic index of the cell. That means the cell, it is filled up with a fluid. You know what is that fluid? In the nucleus there is a fluid called as nucleoplasm, whereas between nuclear membrane and plasma membrane there will be one more fluid that is called as cytoplasm. So these two are together called as fluid part of the cell. Am I correct or not? Now the difference that takes place in the karyoplasm, and also that means karyoplasm means nucleoplasm, and the cytoplasm, this difference, it makes the cell to divide. So this is said by Hertwig. Now let us see Ki. Ki means karyoplasm index. This karyoplasm index is equal to Vn by Vc minus Vn, where Vn means volume of nucleus, Vc means volume of cell, Vc minus Vn is equal to volume of cytoplasm. So by this you can get the what I call portion or level of the cytoplasm and nucleoplasm of the cell. Now let us take the details of this. Now imagine one cell, it is very small, then it consisting of less cytoplasm and high nucleoplasm. So such a less cytoplasm can be easily managed by the nucleoplasm. That is the reason why the small cells do not participate in the cell division. Just again a small recap I am giving you. Now A cell consisting of more nucleoplasm. I'm talking about small cells, okay? In small cells, nucleoplasm is more and cytoplasm is less. So such a big portion of karyoplasm, that means nucleoplasm, can be able to decide or control the metabolic activities of the cytoplasm of the cell, so that the cell can be stable, so there is no need of division. But in large cells, the cytoplasm becomes more, whereas the nucleoplasm, that means karyoplasm, it becomes less. So that such a small amount of the nucleoplasm cannot be able to control the metabolic activities of such a big amount of cytoplasm. That's why these large cells usually they participate in the cell division. You just ask me, you forward your doubt to me, again I will explain. I don't hesitate to ask your doubts, okay? Now, one more reason is surface area volume ratio. This theory says, to be frank, it's not a theory, these two are hypotheses, okay? That means they don't have a practical evidence. Hope you know the difference between hypothesis and theory. Theory means there must be a practical evidence, you should be able to prove it. But hypothesis means some scientists assume this may happens. That means they can't be able to prove it exactly. So this first one, that means karyoplasm theory, but of course it is stated as theory, but it is actually hypothesis, because to prove this particular theory he did not provide any practical evidences. So may he used the word theory, but it turned to be hypothesis only, okay? This point you please understand. Whereas this surface area volume ratio also, when a cell grow in size, its volume increases but the surface area remains less. That greatly affects the metabolic activity of the cell, which results into the division of the cell. That means the size, that means when the cell it grows in size, the volume it increases but the surface area remains less, so that the metabolic activity it will be disturbed. So to create to solve these particular disturbances in the metabolic activities, immediately the cell it participate in the division, okay? But as I already so clearly mentioned that these two are hypotheses. Yes, again you may get a doubt, just for clarity I'm telling you, Hertwig, he called it as theory, but he did not provided a practical evidence for this. So, though he used the word theory, it turned out to be hypothesis only. Okay. Now, later, so many what I call, scientists they came forward and they told that these two are not genuine reasons for the cell division, and a cell division it obviously takes place under genetic control. So genetic control is a main factor that decides the cell to divide or not to divide. So hope you understood what are mitogens and what are the factors that controls that makes the cell to divide. Okay, now the next topic is c value. C value means this is the amount of DNA present in one set of chromosome. That means if you take a haploid cell means the cell which is having only one set of chromosomes called as haploid. For example, gamete cells, for example I'll tell you, males they produce male gametes called as sperms, whereas females also they produce their own gametes called as ova. If you take a plant, they produces pollen grain and also this ova. Am I correct? So these are the gamete cells. Usually gamete cells are present in haploid, that consisting of only one set of chromosome. Okay, now this one set of chromosome में कितना amount of DNA is there, that DNA content is called as C value. For example, I'll tell you, if you take normal cells in our body, normal cells, they will be in a diploid. So in the diploid set of chromosomes mein kitna DNA content is there, that is C value. For example, if you take endosperm, endosperm, it is a triploid. Isme kitna amount of DNA is present, that means the amount of DNA, how much of DNA that is present in one set of chromosome, that is called as a C value. Hope you got my point. And for this, we need to use the units called as picograms, which is simply written as pg. Hope you got my point. Now let us take what is the C value in various phases of the cell cycle. See, this is a cell cycle. As I already told you in the previous class, cell cycle, it includes two phases. The first phase, it is called as interphase, and second phase, it is called as dividing phase, which you will call it as M phase. Now again, interphase, it is divided into G1 phase and S phase, and the last one is G2 phase. Whereas M phase, again it is divided into karyokinesis and cytokinesis. Karyokinesis is again divided into prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase. Whereas cytokinesis is a last phase by which one cell, it divides into two daughter cells. So hope you remember all these points. Otherwise, you again just go back, again you just watch the video, definitely you will understand. Now we will go phase after phase, and then we will count this particular C value. Now the cell cycle, it starts with interphase. Again in interphase, the cell cycle, it starts with G1 phase. Hope you remember. Now in G1 phase, I'm talking about normal diploid cell. Am I correct or not? In normal diploid cells, how many number of chromosomes are present? 46. That means 46 means 23 of the paternal chromosomes and 23 of maternal chromosomes. That means two sets. Na? Am I correct or not? That's why the normal cells are diploid cells. When the normal cell, when it undergoes meiosis, by meiosis these particular cells, they converts into haploid gametes. Okay, now I'm talking about normal cell. So normal cell, it is obviously diploid. So in a diploid means two sets of chromosomes. So chromosomes are 2n. That means n, here n means set of chromosome. Every set of the chromosome will be represented as n. How many number of how many sets of chromosomes will be there in diploid cell, you tell me? That is two sets. So here 2n. Hope you got my point. Now in 2n, kitna amount of DNA will be there? 2c. That means every chromosome has its own value, its own limit of the DNA, and that is as it is. Kitna chahiye utna hi rahega. That means diploid. That means 2n number of what I call chromosomes में 2c of C value will be there. Whereas now this cell, when it wanted to participate in the division, it enters next into S phase. In S phase, the duplication of DNA takes place. In the last class also, hope you remember, I think this example also I told you. For example, if I have 100 rupees, I have only 100 rupees. I wanted to give this 100 rupees both of my students. ऐसा कैसे चलेगा? I can't be able to give. Either I can give 50 rupees to the first student and 50 rupees to the second student, or otherwise 100 rupees to one student. I will tell the other students in next week or next other day I will give you also 100 rupees. I can say like that. But how is it possible when I have only 100 rupees? I can give both the students 100. It is not possible. So what I need to do, I need to double that amount. So I have to make this 100 into 200, then I can give both of my students 100 and 100. Am I correct or not? Same, exactly same thing it takes place in the S phase. When the cell, it is participating in the division, all the 46 chromosomes, it should go equally to this what do you call daughter cell 1 and also daughter cell 2. That's why doubling of this chromatin material, doubling of this what do you call DNA takes place. So duplication of DNA, a doubling of DNA, it takes place in S phase. So the DNA content which is sufficient for 46 chromosomes, they gets doubled. That means one more that means one 46 का कितना DNA चाहिए, that amount of DNA again it will be synthesized. That means 46 plus 46. So 92 chromosomes के लिए कितना amount of DNA चाहिए, उतना amount of DNA it will be duplicated in S phase. So here DNA content is duplicated, but chromosomes are not duplicated. Am I correct or not? So here chromosome number is again same, that means 46 only, but every chromosome mein the amount of DNA it got doubled, that's why 4C. Hope you got my point. Again I'll tell you a very small revision I'll give you. One cell is there, one cell, when it is undergoing division, it produces two daughter cells. Now the contents whatever present in the parent cells, it wanted to distribute it equally to both the daughters. It is not possible, that's why what happens, it is getting doubled and then it is equally distributing. Hope you understood now. That's why here number of chromosomes in S phase mein chromosomes are not duplicating, only DNA it is duplicating. That's why chromosome number it became 2n, as it is, it remains same. Even G1 also 2n, whereas in S phase also 2n, whereas here DNA content only it is doubled. That's why G1 में 2C, but whereas here S phase में 4C. Hope you understood now. If you still don't understand, you can message me. I will again answer it. Okay. Now after S phase, it enters into the last phase of interphase, that is G2 phase. In G2 phase also doubling of the chromatin chromosomes do not takes place. That's why here also 2n only the number of chromosomes, and the C value is 4C. That means from S phase it is as it is continued. But in anaphase what happens, the pulling of the chromosomes takes place. Am I correct or not? That means till now the 46 chromosomes they started doubling. That means the 46 it doubles into 92, because these sister chromatids they gets pulled towards their opposite poles. That's why what happened, chromosome number is 4n, whereas the C value is 4C. Hope you understood. And at the end of cytokinesis completely two daughter cells formed. That's why again it became normal. The chromosome number it is 2n and the C value is 2C. Hope I told you clearly. If you still have any confusions, you just ask me again, I will re-explain it. Okay, but I think so I explained you clearly only. Now let us take one more topic. It's not a topic, it's a part of topic. Just these are number of chromosomes and number of chromatids. You just go through these values and you will understand. Because in the previous lecture only I already explained all these values. Okay, now yes, cell division control. That means who are going to control the cell division. This is a very very important topic, but because see when you are going on road, see it's a big road, it is connecting so many villages or so many cities. That's why every now and then there will be some checkposts where who are going, why they are going, and with what type of what I call goods they are going. Sometimes there are some antisocial elements also, so they may cause damage to the society. That's why they clearly check, and then if they are safe persons, and they will let them to go to other state. If they are not safe, immediately they will arrest them, and the other inquiry part they will do it. So how are traffic police they are controlling our public on the roads, like that the long way is cell division it includes so many events. That's why har ek point mein some checking must be there. Am I correct or not? That's why these checkpoints are established from one phase to another phase, and that only I'm explaining about cell division control. So orderly set of sequence of irreversible events through which cell doubles its contents and then it divides into two. These events are known as cell cycle, where when this doubling it is taking place, when this division it is taking place, it needs some checkpoints, then only the process it go smoothly. Otherwise, if no one is there, no one is there to check what is happening in the cell, if it turns wrong, the new generation it may go wrong. That is the reason why cell division need a proper control. Who are controlling? Let us see. There is T. Hunt, Nurse, and also Hartman. So these are the three scientists in 2001 when they are studying in Saccharomyces. Hope you know Saccharomyces means baker's yeast. In what do you call bread preparation and also cakes preparation, and this bakery people, they use this particular baker's yeast. When they are working, when they are studying about their cell cycle, they noticed cyclins and also cyclin dependent kinases. So these are the two groups of proteins they observed, and they concluded that these two groups of proteins, they are controlling the cell division. See, regulation of the activities of protein kinases, that is cyclin dependent kinases, when binds with the different types of cyclins. That means this cyclin, see, the cyclin dependent kinase, when it binds with the different types of cyclins, they can be able to control with various phases of the cell cycle. Hope you understood. A very small recap I am going to give you. Cell cycle is a long way to go, which includes so many phases: prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, cytokinesis, and before that interphase may G phase, G1 phase, S phase, and also G2 phase. So this many phases are there. That means it needs strict monitoring. If any small correction happens in any phases, it may leads to great mistake in the future generation. That's why it need proper checking, proper control system, and that control system was first of all noticed by this Hartman, T. Hunt, and Nurse. And they told there are some special proteins called as cyclins and cyclin dependent kinases. When these two they join together, that means various types of cyclins are there, and with various types of cyclins, when these CDKs are binded, they controls various stages, various phases of the cell cycle. Hope you understood. Now, let us take checkpoints of the cell cycle. All the living organisms are products of repeated cell divisions. Am I correct or not? We all started our life with a one cell called a zygote. Now you grown this big, you may be 5 feet or 6 feet also even, and how you became this tall, this volume, how you got, that is all because of the cell division. So when the eukaryotic cells, when it is undergoing the cell cycle, this eukaryotic cell organization is little complex. So such a complex cell, when it is participating in the division, it need a proper control system, and that proper control system only it is called as checkpoints. Hope you understood. So cell cycle checkpoints are control mechanisms in eukaryotic cell cycle, which ensures its proper progression. If any correction happens, immediately it will stop, and first of all it corrects it, and then it lets this what I call cell to participate, further participation of the cell division. For example, if that correction never happens, it do not make the cell to participate in the division anytime. Hope you got my point. That means it completely stops the cell to divide. Hope you understood. So this is the meaning of the checkpoints of the cell cycle. What they check, let us see. They check, it is like a timer, it is like a clock which sets a fixed amount of time for the cell to spend in each phase of the cell cycle. So G1 के लिए इतना what टाइम देना चाहिए, S phase के लिए इतना टाइम देना चाहिए, pro phase के लिए इतना टाइम, Ana phase के लिए, Ana phase is the smallest phase. Hope in last class also I told you. Whereas if you take a duplication of the DNA, it takes a longer time. So like that, kitna phase ke liye kitna time dena hai, that will be controlled by checkpoints. Whereas senses any defects that happened when the cell cycle is taking place. If defects happened, it temporarily stop that cell cycle, and first of all it try to fix that particular correction, and then it makes the cell to participate in the division further. No, if that correction, it can never be able to rectify that correction, then immediately it will stop complete cell division. That means it do not let the cell to participate in the cell division only. Whereas it also regulates this cyclin dependent kinases and also cyclins, because cyclins are various types na? So when where this CDK need to bind with the cyclin, it will decide by the checkpoints. Hope you understood what are the functions of these checkpoints. Now we will go to what are those. Till now checkpoint matlab kya hai, a checkpoint what it will do, but now exactly what are the checkpoints, let us see. Okay, exactly these are the checkpoints. There are three checkpoints. Don't confuse, I mentioned it four checkpoints, but I'm telling it three checkpoints. Why? There is a strong reason for this. Usually any scientist, any cell biologist consider the major checkpoints are only three: G1 checkpost, G2 checkpost, and M checkpost. Usually S checkpost no one will consider, but as a number, s checkpoint is also there. That's why I mentioned it. But many of the textbooks, so many of the textbooks, they just mention G1, G2, and M checkpost only. Now let us go one after one. The first checkpost is G1 checkpost, which is called as restriction checkpost. It is a major checkpost actually. What it will do, it checks whether enzymes are synthesized properly, proteins are synthesized properly, because cell, it is made up of proteins. Proteins are the building blocks of the cells. That's why if there is no proteins, the cell never can be able to participate in the cell division. That's why it checks whether the proteins are synthesized properly or not. Whereas for the cell division, it need ATP. Energy nahi hai to cell cannot be able to do anything. That's why ATP is synthesized or not. So after in this G1 check post, enzymes, proteins, and ATPs will be properly checked, and damage in DNA, because the very next phase of the G1 is nothing but S phase. In S phase, what takes place in the just last 5 minutes also I told you, S phase mein duplication of DNA takes place. So when here DNA duplication is taking place, first of all it need to check whether this DNA is proper or not. Other, if any corrections are there, if any mistakes are there in this DNA, the same what I call faulty DNA, it will participate in the replication, which results in the adverse effect in the future generations. That's why it properly check, yes, this DNA is correct or this DNA में कुछ problem है. That will be checked in G1 check post, and it is a checkpoint which activates these cyclins and cyclin dependent kinases, so that the cell cycle, it will go ahead. Hope you understood. And one last point is there, G1 checkpost in yeasts, it is called as a start point, whereas in other eukaryotes it is called as a restriction checkpoint. In yeast it is called a start point, whereas in other eukaryotes it will be considered as restriction checkpoints. Now the next one is S checkpoint. I don't know why the proper priority is not given to the S checkpoint. So scientists, cell biologists are taking only three checkpoints: G1, G2, and M checkpoint. So many of the cell biology, even many textbooks are also, they are not mentioning about the S checkpoint, but still F checkpoint, it prevents the reduplication of the DNA. That means the DNA need to be duplicated only once. If it duplicated more than once, it results in lot of complications. That's why it prevents the reduplication of the DNA. The DNA need to be duplicated only once. Again this reduplication takes place, so it becomes a lot of complex. So it becomes a lot of complexity. That's why it prevents the reduplication of the DNA. Now the next checkpoint is G2 checkpoint. What it check for, let us see. It checks whether the DNA is replicated properly or not in S phase. First of all it will check that. Now enzymes are there, proteins are there, ATP is there, proper energy sources are there, it will check. and आगे M phase it takes place. That means actual division. When actual division it is taking place, a spindle fiber चाहिए ना, and spindle fiber it is made up of what 97% of tubulin protein and 3% of RNA. Hope you remember, just in the last class only explained. So for the spindle fiber formation, tubulin protein chahiye. So whether the tubulin it is properly synthesized or not, and this all points will be checked by G2 checkpoint. Whereas the last checkpoint is M checkpoint, which is also called as spindle checkpoint. Why it is called a spindle checkpoint? Because this M phase it takes place in metaphase. In metaphase, what exactly takes place? Tell me. The irregularly scattered the what do you call chromosomes, they comes to the middle, that means equator region of the cell, and gets attached themselves to the spindle fibers, and then it results in the formation of the equatorial plate or metaphasic plate. Am I correct or not? How this is possible? This is possible because of the formation of the spindle fibers. So in spindle checkpoint, spindle fiber formation is properly checked. That's why it is called a spindle checkpoint. And second point what it is going to check is these chromosomes, they attaches to the spindle fiber in equatorial region with the help of kinetochores. So spindle fiber attachment to the kinetochores will be checked in the spindle checkpoint. So hope you understood what are the checkpoints and what are the points, what are the things they will check. Hope you understood. Now let us take one more topic, that is types of mitosis. What are the types of mitosis? Let us see. The first type of mitosis is cryptomitosis or intranuclear mitosis or promitosis. What is this? Basically we will see, this is a type of mitosis in which nuclear membrane is not lost. That means throughout pura cell division में nuclear membrane do not lost. So that means the nucleus it undergoes division, but nuclear membrane do not disappear. So along with the nuclear membrane only the nucleus it is undergoing division. Then that is called as cryptomitosis or promitosis, whereas centrioles are also present within the nucleus only. Where it takes place? It takes place in the protozoans like amoeba, and also this eukaryotes, this what do you call fungi like yeast. See, this is a yeast. Okay, Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Okay, so this is about cryptomitosis. Now let us take the next one, extranuclear or eumitosis, true mitosis. This I need not to tell because our regular last class whole 1 hour lecture I explained about this process only. This is a true mitosis, the actual mitosis which takes place in our body, that means animal's body and also plant bodies, is nothing but what do you call this extranuclear what do you call mitosis. That means our nuclear membrane it will disappear and spindle formation can be seen, and in nucleolus disappearance can be seen. And again in the telophase, the reappearance of nuclear membrane, reappearance of nucleolus, it takes place. Okay, this is a regular usual mitosis process. Okay, now the third one is endomitosis. Endomitosis means chromosomes and their DNA becomes duplicated. See, please understand, chromosomes they get duplicated and their DNA also will be duplicated. But what is the problem? They fails to become separate. You hope you got my point. They do not get separated, which results in polyploidy. What is the meaning of polyploidy? Just 10-15 minutes back only I told you, ploidy means number of chromosomes. Now you tell me haploid mein how many will be there? One set. Now diploid mein how many will be there? Two sets. Now triploid, that means endosperm mein kitna hai? Three sets. If more than what I call two sets are there, three sets are there, then that is called as polyploidy. That means many sets of chromosomes. Why? Here chromosomes are dividing, but the karyokinesis, that means nucleus it is not dividing. Hope you understood. That's why many sets of chromosomes will be added in the nucleus, but the nucleus it is not undergoing. So the nucleus which is having many sets of the chromosomes called as a polyploid nucleus and polyploid condition. Example also I brought, in human liver cells, both diploid will be there and also polyploid what I call cells also will be there. I hope you know liver cells are called as hepatocytes. In hepatocytes sometimes what happens, you know, the division, that means the karyokinesis, it takes place. Sometimes the karyokinesis do not takes place, but chromosome duplication takes place. That's the reason why in our hepatocytes both diploid also will be there and also polyploid cells are also present. Hope you understood what is endomitosis. But just a small recap I'm giving you. Please understand, chromosomes they divide, DNA also they become duplicated, but problem is the nucleus it do not divide. That is a problem. That is the reason why many sets of chromosomes they keep on adding. That is the reason why it results in the production of polyploid cells. That means many sets of chromosomes that are present in the same cell, same nucleus, then that is called as a polyploidy. An example also I just told you now. Okay, now the next one is dynomitosis. Dynomitosis, it is almost similar to endomitosis only. I can say 90% they are same only. Now the division of the chromosomes not followed by the nuclear division, that results in an increased number of chromosomes. That means here also the polyploid only it takes place. Then what is the difference? The difference is here spindle fibers are not formed, whereas here spindles are, see, spindle fibers are formed. The see, endomitosis and also dynomitosis are 90% same. The only difference is here spindle fiber formation can be seen, whereas here there is no spindle fibers can be seen. That is the only difference between dynomitosis and endomitosis. For this also I brought one example, some mesokaryotes like dinophysi members. Hope you know in plant kingdom also explained, very clearly explained, these are the members of algae. In this dinophysi of algae, this dynomitosis it takes place. The only difference is in endomitosis the spindle fiber formation can be seen, whereas here this duplication of the chromosomes and DNA takes place without the spindle fiber formation. And this is the difference between the endomitosis and dynomitosis. Hope you understood. Now mitotic poisoning. What is mitotic poisoning? There are certain substances that will stop this cell division, and if any substance stop the cell division, that is called as mitotic poison. What are they? Let us take at least 2 3 examples. At least we will take azides and cyanides, which inhibits prophase. Even what happens, you know, some scientists when they are working on the what you call cell biology, that is cell division, they wanted to stop one phase and see what exactly happening. So for experimentation also some cell biologists they stop some phases. So for that they developed certain chemicals, and that chemicals are nothing but what you call mitotic poisons. See, azides and cyanides, they inhibit the prophase, whereas colchicine, they inhibit the spindle formation at what I call metaphase. Because of that, colchicine, it is used to bring polyploids in plant cells. This is a very important question. Colchicine question is an important question, students. You have to remember it. Which mitotic poison it will be used to make the plant cell polyploid? Then the answer will be colchicine. Whereas even mustard gas also it results in agglutination of what you call chromosomes and also calones, and these calones are nothing but peptides and also glycoprotein secreted by the extracellular fluid of healthy cell, and it stops the healthy cell to participate in the cell division. Unnecessarily if cell division it takes place, it results in cancer. I'll tell you briefly about cancer. The next topic is that only. So these are various what I call mitotic poisoning agents. These are the certain chemicals which are used to stop the cell division. Now the last topic of today is cancer. Students, I am just giving you the basic idea of cancer in this class, because this topic I am going to discuss in human health and disease very detailed way. It's a very big topic of human health and disease topic of your 12th class. There I am going to explain what is cancer, what are mutations, and what are various types of tumors, and what are their treatments. Everything so detailedly I am going to explain in your 12th class. But now you I just wanted to give you a very small introduction about cancer. What is that? Sometimes due to mutations the cell checkpoints do not work properly. When the cell checkpoints do not work properly, what happens? The cell don't know where to start the cell division and where to end the cell division. Hope you understood. For example, if any anti-social element is there, if any proper control is not there, it is not controlled by any police, or they are not controlled by any what I call other army or something like that, then what happens? All these anti-social elements will come into our country and they will completely spoil our country. Am I correct or not? So there must be certain checkpoints, there must be some policeman, there must be some traffic police man, and there must be some army to control the citizens. Otherwise all the citizens are not good. Some citizens, they turn to be anti-social elements. Even after this much of checking is happening also, how many crimes they are taking place? So like that, when cell it is also undergoing division, sometimes the cell checkpoints will fail. This cell checkpoints failure, it results in the cell don't know where to stop and where to start the cell division. That's why uncontrolledly the cell it keep on dividing, which results in the piling up of lot many number of cells, and that is called as a tumor. That means unnecessarily it is growing. When the cell it is participating in the division unnecessarily without no reason, it keep on dividing, it results in the formation of tumor. And tumor, it is one of the sign, one of the symptom of the cancer. But please understand, all the tumors are not cancerous tumors. I'll definitely tell you in your 12th class, 2 hours of like a topic I'm going to explain about only cancer. Cancer is such a big topic and it takes minimum 1.5 to 2 hours. Completely I'm going to explain, but now for cell division this much only required, so this much only I'm explaining. Now neoplasms are tumors. Tumors means they are formed by the excessive growth, uncontrolled growth of the cells. Whereas oncology means studying about various types of tumors and also treatments of the tumors, that is called as oncology. Studying about this cancerous tumors, it is called as oncology. And further details enough for this class, for this chapter, this much information is enough. And the detailed information I am going to give you in the 12th class. Okay students, with this I completed the mitosis. There is nothing to discuss about mitosis. Now in the next class I am going to discuss about meiosis. Okay, and I'll make sure that that will be the last class of the cell division. So only one more lecture is going to come on the cell division. Okay, in the next class I am going to explain about meiosis. And thank you so much.